So when you first start playing the game, it might strike you that there's a lot of unfamiliar words, and this wall of text can be a bit overwhelming. What I hope to show in this screencast is a way that you can use the word list features of WordSwing in order to prepare some of the vocabulary. This will tend to make the game seem more familiar and accessible. So from the top menu, you can expand the drop-down menu and click on your word lists, and that will bring up your personal word lists, and from there you can browse the published list. Now there are two word lists for the game Into the Haze, and part 1 is the words that appear at least 3 times in the game, and so you can fork that word list and make a personal copy, and that personal copy you can then add words to or remove words from. And in this list, you'll see all of the words that appear in the game at least 3 times. And the list is sorted by the frequency of these words in the game. So you can start at the beginning and work your way down the list. Now, you'll notice that some of these words are very common words, and you're probably already familiar with them. And so there's this way that in the drill down menu, you can enable the words to be colored according to your knowledge ratings of these words. And you can then click the prune list mode in the word list, which will allow you to select words to be deleted. If you've already rated some words based on your knowledge of them, you can then select words to be purged based on those ratings. So here I've selected the mastered words, which are green, and the learning words, which are orange. And you can then hit delete, hit the trash button, and it will remove all those words from the list. And this way you can pare down the list to just those that you want to focus on learning in preparation for the game. And here you can see I've narrowed down the list substantially, but I've noticed that there are actually still some words that I know. And so what I'm going to do is update my ratings by clicking on the Adjust Knowledge Stages button, and then go through and start toggling my ratings. And you can just click multiple times to bump the word multiple knowledge states. And after I'm satisfied with the ratings, I can go back to the prune list mode and reselect learning and mastered words and delete those again from the list. And now you can see that the list went down from 499 to 306. So maybe these are the words I feel like I want to focus on learning. Now we have several activities that allow you to practice words from word lists. One is the pronunciation recall, and the other is the frequency ordered SRS. Now the pronunciation recall activity presents the written form of the word and asks you to recall the pronunciation. So since that's most similar to reading, we'll focus on that for this demonstration. And what you want to do is make sure that the option is selected to introduce the words in the order that they were added to the word list, because these words were added in the frequency order in the game. And so you can then introduce these words in the pronunciation recall activity, most common ones first. So now here I'm going through and doing this activity a few times with some of the words that are in the game. And sometimes I get it right, sometimes I get it wrong. And this activity uses spaced repetition. And so it based on how you specify you've learned it, so here I can hit a drop-down menu and say, okay, well, I want to review this word in 3 days from now. And so words that you know a little bit better, you can review at longer intervals. You can also bury words for a while, just skip them and not do them using the skip feature. If you'd rather not use the pronunciation recall activity and you'd like to study these words outside of WordSwing, say in Anki, you can export your word list either just by outputting a list of words, copying and pasting them into something else, or you can export the word list in a form that Anki can import. And so here it produces a link that you can then click to download a CSV file of the words and their pronunciations and definitions. And this is a format that Anki knows how to import. And so you can just open up Anki and import this and study using Anki as your flashcard app. After you've studied some of the words, you can go in and try playing the game again. And you might find that suddenly the game looks a little bit more familiar. So if we are playing the game and we turn on our knowledge ratings, we can see that quite a lot of this is stuff that we're familiar with.